and then make another set. And or if anyone who wants a lower dosage, then yeah.
Be sure to get your psychedelic supplies from White Rabbit site on Instagram. You can DM me, email me, text me, call me, talk to me telepathically. I'll hook you up. Man, I'm sitting here working on some shit, and I had to get on live and share this message real quick. Thinking about like alpha males. So if you look at my post that I just posted on IG, it's more or less about like being a sexual object to men. And it's weird because a lot of women view themselves as sexual objects solely. That'd be crazy. But when you don't want to treat them like a sexual object, you know what they call you? A beta male. They call you a simp. When you want to get to know them, when you want to treat them right. But you know the type of men that only want to fuck you and solely just want to fuck you, let it be known, hey, I'm only here to fuck and all of that. What do they call them men? Alpha males. So the alpha male, and this is psychology, this is human nature. This is the way shit goes a lot of times. Like, it's just happening in the world. And if you ever want to get out that loop, it's like, don't get caught in no titles and don't get caught up on the internet. Like, because I'd rather be a beta male that sees the value and the dignity in the soul of my wife and work towards healing and work towards understanding and understanding versus just having sex with all the cute girls that I can have sex with. Maybe because I spent a lot of time around a lot of women in my 20s that I experienced that, so I don't have to relive that. It ain't about nothing. It ain't worth nothing. Because you have a lot of propagators online, like Alpha Male Strategies, Fresh and Fit, people like that who would say, you know, to be a real man, to be an alpha man, is to find a woman that you like, since women is this and women is that, and basically just fuck them. Basically just have sex with them. And it's like, that's the craziest shit. And then you have like women who down with the program. Like, when you is like really interested in the future of a relationship with a young lady, she not really listening to nothing that you talking about because she might be judging you based on whether she's sexually attracted to you. She want to get bust down too. She don't want to be in a mindset of love and development and family. And I think that's the result of sexual objectification, where if you're a sexual object in your relationship, in your community, in your society, that's ultimately saying that you don't got no mind, you don't got no heart, you ain't got no dignity. And then when you try to get into a situation in a relationship, you feel like you need an alpha male. Well, an alpha male's mindset is just to fuck you. An alpha male only looking at you as a sexual object. So the man that repulses you, the man that you can't stand, the man that want to get to know you, the man that want to take his time, he is a simp beta. And this is what the internet have created in your minds. It's a spell, the deepest spell. And it's going to happen regardless. You going to want the man that's more attractive. You going to want the man in the Shango archetype. You're not going to be interested in the man trying to have conversations with you. You only, because women empowerment say you can get the man that you want. So the man that you want is naturally going to be the best alpha type male. When you go on dates with women, they naturally are just repulsed by you because you're not the top dog alpha. And they want you to become that as opposed to, be yourself. Right? So I was just sitting here like kind of blown away by it, just thinking about it and like thinking about like the conversations and just how the internet is set up and how people be really formulating their mind and their schemes and their mindsets. And you know, a majority of our women, when you walk like in the neighborhoods, you will see a bunch of women dressed in a provocative way, showing off their body. And I'm sure they not showing off their body to demonstrate their long-term relationship skills. I'm sure they showing off their body to say that I can be that perfect sexual object for you. When you look on the internet in certain ways that people dress in certain ways, now I'm more of a tribalistic type of person, so I would be perfectly fine if people walked around naked. But that means even my fat ass too. We got to run this shit across the board, right? If we all gonna be naked, we all got to be naked. See, if we live in a society where I got on clothes, he got on clothes, she got on clothes, but you don't got on clothes, that means everybody gonna look at you. And the reason that everybody looking at you, because now you are the fetish, now you are the object. And if you are the fetish and you the object, that means that if I'm gonna go to school, if I'm gonna go to work, then that's gonna be regular stuff. But when it comes to you, I'm gonna keep you in the closet. I'm gonna keep you in the rug. But the reality is you got a soul, you got heart, you got a mind, you got dignity. My black women are goddesses. They are extremely intelligent, extremely capable. They have a lot of gifts, talents, and abilities. And if that make me a beta simp to say that and to see that, then I'll be that. Just because I don't want to pin you down, just because I don't want to rail you, just because I don't want to put you in the hucklebuck, and not that make if that make me not an alpha male, then I guess I'm not an alpha male. I guess I look at people for the beauty and the truth that they are at an intellectual level, at a mental level, at an emotional level, and definitely at a spiritual level. So when I look at spiritual energy, I look at spiritual energy exactly as sexual energy is just two spectrums of the pole. The sexual energy in the lower self is more of like, you know, up and down sex. But you take that straight up and down sex energy and you rise it up your chakras. I didn't invent the term chakras. Conscious niggas didn't invent the term chakras. Chakras have been in existence and in conversations in Hindu mythology for the last 5,000 years. So when you start to, you know, put your mind on the chakra system and you take your sexual energy and you start to rise it, your consciousness, your sexual consciousness, how you conduct yourself. And this is the real shit, because I was a nigga who would be on, you know, Plenty of Fish and internet sites and just hitting anything that come my way. Wanting to have sex with women, not wanting to establish long-term relationships. Playing games, lying, fucking around. I've been that type of dude because my consciousness was in my lower self. But when I started to do the chakra work, my sexual energy, which would be on some do dirty shit, is now into, oh shit, that's a human being in front of me. That ain't somebody that I can relive out my my letdowns and my frustration. That ain't what this is. This is a human being with a soul, with thoughts and plans and ideas, or maybe even some trauma, maybe even some pain, maybe even. So the thing about even when you a healer, you sometimes people can't formulate the words for which they need to be healed. Sometimes a person can't even think in the ways for which they need to be healed because they don't have the capacity to even realize the ways that they have been hurt. So when you are a person's partner, you can see that person from multiple angles. A person can never really see themselves if you really think about it. So if you are an alpha, if you are a sexualized being, don't expect to be loved. And this don't mean that you're rich. A lot of this is happening in our community on the poor level, on the middle class level, where, you know, if you don't understand the spells and the psyops you under, and you sexualizing yourself on Al Gore's internet, All right, can y'all tell me who is watching you on the internet? If you shaking your ass on the internet, can y'all tell me who watching y'all? That's a yes or no question. That's a yes or no question. Can y'all dictate who is watching y'all? I would really like to know. I would really want to know. And that's always the thing that really freaks me out about, the internet. Is like anybody can watch you. Anybody can see you. Anybody could, objectify you. And when a person objectify you, they ain't thinking about your kids. They ain't thinking about your future. A person can have kids with you and have, like that situation that just happened. And where was this at? I don't know exactly where it was at, but I think Philadelphia, something like that. They had 6 kids together. They had six kids together, and that didn't stop that man from killing her. A man would kill an object. A man would kill an animal. And if a man having sex with you, making babies with you, that don't mean that he not an animal. That don't mean that he don't look at you as an object. So you can miss me with, that's my boyfriend and that's my husband. That don't mean shit to me. Do he see you? Do he hear you? Women, my whole life, not my whole life, but in the space of doing this spiritual work, can y'all understand that women have confided in me and told me things that they haven't told their significant others? Almost every woman that I talk to can confide in me in a deeper, more intimate way than their husbands. You know why? Because I'm not interested in having sex with them. I'm only interested in listening and hearing them. I'm not interested in using them. I'm not interested in spending their money. I'm not interested in them taking care of my kids. I'm not interested in them putting up a front for me. I just want to hear you. I just want to see you. I just want to listen to you, right? And you got to have a capacity to do so. Because most men, and it pains me, because I'm a man and I know this. I'm speaking from experience as a man. Most men do not have the capacity to love a woman because we only had a capacity to have sex with them. That's all we can do. So have you ever experienced being with a man and he said everything that he needed to say up until he got sex and then he stopped saying those things? Have you been in a situation like that? More than not, is that the situation that you deal with when you deal with men? And then when you get into relationships with men, are they preoccupied with having sex with you more than listening to you and hearing with you and planning with you and living with you and understanding you, getting to know you? Or do he want to get inside you? I don't know. But I know that we have a capacity to change. We have a capacity to get better. But I know some old ass men that think the same way as I used to think when I was 16 years old. This is what y'all might not even understand about men. And they hypersexuality and they feminine objectivity. They don't care about your past. They don't care about your present. You could be homeless and a man will have sex with you. You could be on probation for doing a triple homicide of 3 men that's dark skinned, and you could tell a man, I killed 3 dark skinned men. That man could be dark skinned and he still would have sex with you. Because he can only see, he ain't hearing nothing about what you saying. He only seeing the object for what you are and how you could please him or pleasure him. And so what tends to happen is that a woman will say, I don't want to have sex with you no more, right? It'd be nights where You say stuff like, I'm not in the mood, right? I'm not in the mood. I don't feel like it. I got a headache. You know why you do that? Because that man haven't listened to you all day. That man haven't heard you all day. That man haven't spoke to you all day. But then when he want to lay down with you, he want to pull his thing out and be inside of you. Now, don't you think your soul requires that nourishment? Wouldn't your soul require that nourishment? And now you naturally gonna play games. A reason that a lot of people aren't with their child's father, and society and the internet try to shame you. Why would you be with a man because y'all had a child together? That man viewed you as a sexual object. That's how y'all got that child. But that man didn't see you, hear you, and it was fine when it was just you. Now it's your child that he not seeing. Now it's